Hello, viewers. A very good morning and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this morning, we are taking a look on the humiliation of Mnangagwa faction in South Africa. Remember, the battles within ZANU-PF, they are not only happening in Zimbabwe, they are actually happening as well as far as South Africa. And remember, the major target from the Mnangagwa faction is INSCO, because INSCO in Zimbabwe is one of the most grounded companies which controls almost every sector. So they have interest in the banking sector, they have interest in the agricultural sector, in the food sector, etc. INSCO is its footprints are everywhere across the country, which means with the Mnangagwa government in place, they've been fighting for a very long time in terms of having control or total control of activities. Rutendo Matinyayare has been leading the fight against INSCO, and INSCO is believed to be linked to VP Chiwenga somewhere, and that is because of a fallout which happened when Mnangagwa wanted to take over every industry and have control of it. So Rutendo Matinyayare has been leading achishanda nechimwe chimchinda chepa gold mafia chimwe chimurungu ichi, so that they take down INSCO and they promote a Mnangagwa company to run everything the same way they've been doing to Gold Mafia. So Rutendo Matinyayare then, the matter was taken to South Africa. INSCO took the matter in South Africa, where Rutendo Matinyayare was a resident and was operating from. And he was barred by the courts to stop uttering defamatory messages or giving defamatory messages to regarding INSCO, but he then continued like that in contempt of the court order. So he was brought to court, and he then pinned everything on his lawyer. He blamed the lawyer, saying that he was not informed in time about the order. Then the lawyer denied and said that he advised Rutendo, produced the evidence against Rutendo, even opened a case against Rutendo. And this is the case which was dealt with in the South African courts and has been found guilty of contempt of court by the South African courts, and has been sentenced to 3 months in prison. And then the sentence was suspended on condition that he does not publish any further defamatory material on INSCO, which means the battle of Emmerson Mnangagwa against INSCO has failed again in South Africa. This is the end of the battle of Emmerson Mnangagwa against INSCO, because his propaganda can no longer continue. He was running some propagandas against INSCO, and this has been stopped successfully by the South African courts. Rutendo and his master, they have options. It's either Rutendo will come back to Zimbabwe, they will continue to fight INSCO, or he will shut up and let it be just like that. So this is the option they have. Also, their faction can then pursue INSCO right here in Zimbabwe, but because they don't have anything tangible in Zimbabwe, it becomes difficult, which means whatever they want to do, they will have to use a third party who is not Rutendo. And because of greediness, they will never do that. So this is it. Emmerson Mnangagwa faction is losing ground, and they've lost a case in South Africa. And their loud mouth has been silenced over the issue of INSCO. Remember, INSCO is very, very, very involved much in business in Zimbabwe. And they wanted a better government other than the one of Emmerson Mnangagwa, which is on the rise, or which is on a rampant destruction scale or mode when it comes to the local businesses. They want everything to be owned by their own people, from the mines, the agricultural sector, the production sector. They want control of everything. So this is what is happening. We'll wait to see what is going to happen. We'll wait to see if Rutendo will be able to continue to speak against INSCO the way he was doing. So it's a very sad situation. He's not wanted in South Africa. They don't like him in South Africa. Nelly Silwe says having a criminal record in a foreign country is the worst thing ever, because the host country has a right to revoke your status and deport you back to your homeland. So remember, this is their trading ground. South Africa is their trading ground, is their looting ground. And if he is deported, then it becomes a problem, because remember, they still have some court cases happening in South Africa against the United States of America, which means this is going to have a challenge, a very, very big challenge then. So it is what it is, Team Zimbabwe. I love you all. This is what is happening. We continue to watch and see from the terraces. ZANU-PF is disintegrating. So if you don't believe about change, you have to watch and see. These are the signs. ZANU-PF has been trying to be dominant in South Africa as well as in Zimbabwe, but it's failing. This is failing. This is the latest attempt which has failed. INSCO is one of the biggest companies, one of the biggest determinants of an economy. And right here in Zimbabwe, they have power to determine how things go as a business player. So this is the reason why Mnangagwa was worried and wanted to take INSCO down. But now that the gag order is there, even if Rutendo says something from Zimbabwe, the same order in South Africa applies. The moment he touches down in South Africa, he will be jailed. So this is victory for Tim Chiwenga. This is victory for anti-Mnangagwa people. And you wait to see what is going to happen next. Wait to see if they will continue to fight in the same corner. Remember, they are now divided. Simba has gone in his own direction, Rutendo in his own direction. Guys, let us continue to pray. Let us continue to fight, and God will vindicate us. And ZANU-PF is falling. ZANU-PF is crumbling, and at the end of ZANU-PF is very, very near. I have been always telling people to say God is faithful. God communicates before things happen. God communicates. I know that a lot of people are worried about what happened in 2023. Guys, God is in control. There is a reason why God had to allow that to happen. One day I will share a testimony with the people of Zimbabwe about some things which have happened in the behind the scenes, which the people of Zimbabwe are not aware of. But because of God's grace, we are seeing these things happening on a daily basis. And these are indications and these are signs of a new great Zimbabwe coming. Let us continue to rally behind Advocate Nelson Chamisa. We know that he's being fought left, right, and center, but he has stood against this regime within the borders of Zimbabwe. He has not run away from the political arena. He's still there. Pachiri kupisa muZimbabwe ndo maakamira Chamisa. Vamwe vese vamhanya vatiza. Chamisa is still in Zimbabwe because he can only plan successfully when he is in Zimbabwe. So ukazoona dei razouya rekunzi vaChamisa vabuda, chiziva kuti Zimbabwe yaputika. It will not take even days for Mnangagwa to go. As long as you see President Advocate Nelson Chamisa in Zimbabwe, he is there working 24/7 to make sure that there is freedom in Zimbabwe. And because of the volatile situation we have, he will not share details of what he's doing. He can't share his movements. He can't share anything about what he's doing. It's because the system itself is volatile. The system itself is destructive. So let him continue to give them sleepless nights. Akusikurarwa mudzimba, amadzangu. When we say akusikurarwa mudzimba, we are not bluffing. We are telling you what is happening because we have people in every sector of Zimbabwe. Saka ma-informants iwayo, they continue to give us real information with evidence. Saka, when we talk about these issues, guys, we are not bluffing. We are fighting this issue of change because we want change to happen in our lifetime, and it is going to happen in our lifetime. Even tikanzitafa nas, that is not going to stop change, because change ichangoitika chete asvikirwa nezuva ndini, but change inoramba ichienderera mberi. So this is one thing I like. When God does these things, he communicates with his servants first. And when things start to happen, then you know good, this is God. This is the reason why we are not going to be silent. We are not going to be quiet. will continue to speak because we know that God is working on the case of Zimbabwe and God is faithful. He will fulfill his words. God cannot lie. God will never lie. So this is the reason why we have so much assurance that things will be better, things will be okay. This is the Team Zimbabwe. Wait to see how Mnangagwa is going to fight back because he's losing ground in the South African courts. A plus for the people he is fighting against. Then our time shall come. Shadrach says, in Zimbabwe and America, we need leaders, not politicians. We are tired of being puppets, especially of the West. So you have reminded me, Shadrach, about something very important. America and Zimbabwe, the timelines are the same. America and Zimbabwe, the timelines are almost the same. So when change is happening in America, change is happening in Zimbabwe at the same time. Events which are happening in America, the same time events are happening in Zimbabwe as we speak. So the liberation of the American people will be also the liberation of the Zimbabwean people. It will be made a matter of maybe just a difference of days, weeks, or months, but America change is coming, Zimbabwe change is coming as well. And the same forces of darkness which are fighting in America are the same forces of darkness which are fighting here in Zimbabwe, which means it's, something very interesting is being worked upon by God. Jimmy says a criminal has been convicted. His criminal conviction will follow him all the days of his life. Rutendo, this was a liar among liars that even a 10-year-old could research his lies. Yes, this man has been lying unprovoked in South Africa, doing whatever. He was saying anything he could say. And at a certain point in time, anotaura mamwe mashoko anorwadza so ekuti uri muZimbabwean ukazvirangarira unozvibvunza kuti is this person a Zimbabwean or what? But the days are over. Rutendo has been humiliated together with his boss. They have been humiliated in South Africa. INSCO is winning in South Africa. Victory for INSCO in South Africa is a victory for INSCO in Zimbabwe, which means tirikuona zvikaitaura kuti zvicharamba zvichitokonyana kusvika papi. But let me assure you one thing, change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe. I love you all. Thank you very much for the support, and let us meet in other episodes and other broadcasts.